Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be doing some portraits on film and also on digital. Recently this company COLBOR sent me a couple of these video stroke photography lights, the CL100X models. They're brand new models for me to try out, and lo and behold, my daughter's friend Kyle recently contacted me. He works on the super yachts, always abroad. He said, Rog, he said, I'm going to be back in England soon. He said, any chance you can get some photographs for my new CV? Well, new photographs for his CV. I said, yeah, of course I can, Kyle. Come over and see me.
I have got to be in Newport by 3, just to let you know.
What time?
3.
3? And I use these lights. I'll get on with the shoot, I'll show you what I was up to, very basic stuff, and in between I'll tell you a bit more about these video lights. So I'm going to do a series of different lighting setups and just do some real basic portraits with Kyle here. Kyle, say hello to the people.
Hello people.
Using these COLBOR lights, and I'm going to be using the Nikon FM3A and an 80mm Nikon lens, also my light meter. I've got a reflector here, and up there is that COLBOR light which is pointing down towards Kyle. It's quite bright, isn't it, Kyle?
Yeah.
It is quite bright, isn't it? But I'll be diffusing it in a short while. So at the moment I'm using it with no diffusers at all. So I'm literally using raw light coming down. I've set the light to daylight balance, which is around about 5200 Kelvin. And right next to me I've got a reflector just bouncing a little tiny bit of light back into Kyle's face. I'm kind of going for this Rembrandt look if you look at the camera there. So I've kind of got the light coming down at a 45-degree angle near enough, and we've kind of got this little tiny triangle just underneath his eye, which is being caused by his bridge of his nose here, and that's called a Rembrandt look. So we're going to go for that first, black and white. I'm using Kentmere 400 film. Just need to meter up and take some shots. And the good thing about using modelling lights without flashes, I can literally see where the light is falling, so it's quite nice. So I'll just do some meter reading quickly before I take my photographs, obviously, see what I'm going to be shooting at. I want to shoot at 1/25 of a second, and it's pointing back at the light. It's giving me f11. If I point it back towards the camera, it's giving me 5.6. And the reason I'm pointing it up towards the light is because it's quite bright. If I point this back to the camera and do 5.6, shoot at 5.6, it's going to be brighter, the image, completely blowing this side out of Kyle. So I don't want that. That's why I'm pointing it up towards the light. It's giving me f11. It should balance that nicely. But I've got a reflector behind me, which is going to bounce light back into Kyle's face. So let's take our first shot, 1/25 of a second, f11, 400 speed film. And even though the meter inside the camera is saying to me, recommending I shoot at 1/60th, I'm going to go at 1/25 like I thought. 1, 2, 3. So these are the lights that COLBOR sent me. They come in a nicely designed box, and inside the box is the light itself, and all the attachments packed safely away in this protective case. Looks pretty smart, the case as well. Let's have a look inside at the contents. There's a little tiny certificate, there's some instructions, a light modifier or reflector. There's a Bowens fit attachment as well. There's a power pack, a light stand grip, a power cord and plug, and of course the light itself. And here it is all laid out. You've got a strap, your instructions, your light, your stand attachment, reflector and mount, and also the power pack. Setting up the light is easy peasy lemon squeezy. You'll need a light stand, of course. Slip the light attachment onto the light stand and give it a little tighten up. Slip on the light and tighten it up, and then take the rubber protector off and also the sticker. Then you can fit the attachment, which is quite easy to do, fit the reflector on as well. Then all you need to do after that is plug in the power and go. Turn it on, hey presto, let there be light. And on the back of it is your controls for the brightness and the colour temperature, as well as the usual funky effects options such as broken bulb, light, TV, flicker, etc., SOS. And it's also Wi-Fi controlled, so you can change the settings via the app on your phone. So that's the first shot done. The background, you notice, isn't lit up at all. It's a white wall at the back. But because I'm shooting at f11, 1/25 of a second, this light is pretty much intense in Kyle's face. The background's going to go naturally black, but I can light that back up if I want to with another modelling light. But I'm not going to do that at the moment. This time I'm going to use, this is quite harsh, so I'm just going to put a diffuser over the front of it and call one of my assistants in to hold it for me. So this time we've got my wife Emma, she's holding the diffuser, it's looking awkward. I need to do the light. Right, let's read this light coming down again. This time it's coming out at f8, 1/25. And we've got this reflector coming back in, so let's try this one, Carl, and then we'll do another one without the reflector. 1, 2, 3, that's 1. Let's take the reflector away. Exactly the same again, this is f8. Same again. I think this will be better without the reflector. 1, 2, oh you blinked.
Sorry.
Try not to blink. Close your eyes. When I say open, open. 1, 2, 3, open. Got it. So the same thing again, this time I'm going to light the background wall with this other COLBOR light that I've got. I'm using the Bowens Fit attachment on the front to kind of direct the light as a spot behind Carl's head. You might be able to see it if I show you, but... So that's at 100%. So you can see it's kind of made a spot behind Carl's head. Obviously I'm going to be higher than this camera is at the moment, so I should be able to get that from behind his head. Let's see how it works. This time we'll remove the reflector away again, making it a little bit darker on that side of Carl's face. 1, 2, 3, there you go. And then we'll do another one with the diffuser. Trying to focus, okay, 1, 2, 3, there you go, F8. So I'm just changing the lighting setup. This time Carl's sitting down. I've got this background light now. I've changed the modifier on it, so the dish is spreading the light out even more. The other one was kind of like a fine spot. But this one spreads the light out nicely on that back wall. I've got the colour temperature at 5000, so it's kind of like a daylight background. I didn't want it any warmer than that. And the other light, which you can see I've got up there, coming down on Carl, giving like a butterfly lighting look. And this is all basic stuff, you know, real basic lights. Holding reflectors and doing whatever I can to get a photograph. And by bringing the light down over his hair, we've got his hairline here, we've got the shadow underneath his nose and also underneath his neck as well. So it's quite a strong look. This is not diffused either, it's just straight out the light. Let's have a go. So we've got F8 1/25 of a second. Thank you, Kyle. 1, 2, 3. Close your lips, mate. No, I don't have to look mean. You're not a mean person. Just straight at me, no expression, that's nice. 1, 2, 3, done. And then this time, we'll just light a little bit of light back up into Carl's neck area there. And I'm shooting this at F8 once again. 1, 2, 3, done. And this time we'll make it a little bit stronger. We'll take the back light away so it will go dark in the background, making the portrait a bit stronger. So this time all I've done is taken the backlight away and it will just darken the background down. Carl, straight to me. It will darken the background down. It won't be jet black because the light from the car is spilling over onto the wall, which is fine. 1. Nice smile this time, Carl. Oh, what's that? It looks evil stare. What are you doing? Give me a smile. I'll take that one. Oh dear. Think about Emma wearing that gear. So this time I've just changed the light a little bit, just try and make it a bit more evenly lit. Just standard really, with the diffuser on. 1, 2, head towards me a bit more, Carl, that's it. 1, 2, 3. That's it, we're done. So I've looked online and these on B&H Photo are around about $200. So not a bad price, and they're bloody bright as well. They're really bright, in fact. I was surprised. At the moment I'm being lit by my LED panel, and I use that sometimes for portraits, but I do have to slow the shutter speed down or use a faster film. With these ones, I was getting away on this shoot with a 400 speed film shooting 1/25 of a second at f11 and f8. So I was doing all right for speed in the camera. I've looked at some other reviews online about these lights, and some people are saying that the build quality ain't that great. I think it's all right, to be honest with you. I don't know if this is plastic or aluminium. I think it's like a very light aluminium, but the quality of it's not too bad. The only downside of these buttons at the back here, I just feel a little bit cheap, if I'm honest. And it could do with a little tiny ridge, so when you're going up or down, so I'm trying to go up and I'm not trying to go down, but I'm accidentally pressing it in, but it could do with some sort of ridge that makes it easier to push up and down. But really, that's the only fault I can find. The LED panel on the back is a little bit slow. It's got a little bit of a lag to it, but that's no big deal. You know, once you've set your brightness and your color temperature, off you go, taking your pictures. The rest of it, I can't really complain. So far, they're brand new, obviously, so I haven't got no real use out of them to see if they're going to blow up at some point, but I don't think they will. The real bonus is the Bowens Fit adapter that they've got on there. and they've given you this reflector in the packet as well, or in the box, to get you started. This reflector is quite bright, it's quite silvery inside, and it is quite directional, you know, so when you're doing a photo shoot with this, the light is kind of pointed quite directly. I like to use larger Bowen's reflectors like this one. I've got another large one as well to spread the light out. Some people said about it fitting not that well, but you have to make sure that the mount is flush, otherwise it catches on the light itself, and there you go, it's on now. But if that's not flush, the light gets caught and you can't put it on. Some people said, well, it doesn't fit. Well, it does if you put it on properly. There's no red, green, blue. It's not an RGB light. It's just colour temperature, so warm or cold light. And it's proper bright as well. There's a few little other buttons on the back, but getting down to basics, you've got two buttons on the back. One's the brightness and one is the colour temperature. The other buttons are just fancy gizmos like effects for lightning, or there's also an SOS one on there. I don't know why you'd want that. Maybe you're out on a ship or something doing portraits and all of a sudden it starts sinking. You could send out an SOS signal if you've forgotten what it was. But you've got TV, static, all the usual fancy effects that you get with these lights. Quite handy, I suppose, if you're doing video making, you know, and you've got someone there making out that they're watching the TV. This is a good program. I like this one, the lightning effect. And another good thing is they're controlled by Wi-Fi, so you set the Wi-Fi, you pair it up to your phone, and you don't have to touch the lights if they're high up and you can't reach. You just sort out your settings on the phone, so that's another good thing. But above all, I think the quality build, it ain't that bad at all. The little wing nuts here for tightening everything up, they seem a little bit cheap. I'm worried if I do over tighten they might break off. That's me being a bit pernickety, but other than that, it's a basic light stand, gets you off the mark, and it holds the light really well. And as for the temperature of the light unit itself, when it's running, it doesn't get particularly hot at all. Obviously, don't be touching the bulb. There's a heat sink on the bulb there to take some of the heat, but inside is a little tiny fan, and it's very quiet indeed. So if you're using these for any video interviews, they're very, very quiet. They were running on the video that you've seen, and you couldn't hear them. I couldn't even hear them either. So quite a smart fan in there. I think that's what they call it as well, a smart fan. There's only one thing I'd like to have seen with this would be some kind of attachment for an umbrella to be used as a diffuser. There's no little tiny hole there where I can't put an umbrella on this at all, unless maybe I buy another a modifier or an attachment, I should say, for this light. I'd like to have seen a little tiny hole, maybe in the stand or somewhere, where I could have shoved an umbrella in there as a diffuser. That would have been really handy. You know, it's no big deal. It's just a little tiny hole and a nice little feature I think they could add on, but there wasn't nothing there. So, and I haven't got that attachment, so I couldn't use my umbrella on these lights. So as far as diffusion goes, I had to have someone holding the diffuser, or I was holding the diffuser. So as well as the film ones, I also took some colour ones, because don't forget, Kyle said to me that he wanted a photograph for his CV. So I took a few digital, not too many, and these are the digital ones that I took of Kyle after I'd shot the film, and they've come out really nice. You can see I've used different temperatures in the background. The last one I used was kind of like a natural daylight to make the background look a bit white. As for the film shots, I was using Kentmere 400 and a Nikon FM3A. I developed that film in Rodno 1:50 for, I can't remember now, whatever the time was, 16 minutes, 17 minutes I think it was, quite a while. But the negatives came out really nice. And as for the portrait session with Cole, it didn't take long at all. Don't forget, I was also videoing in the background as well as I was trying to take the photographs of Cole. But you know, once I had the lights set up, I knew just to keep it simple, simple, stupid, and he'll have a nice photograph to put on his CV. And he loved the one that I sent him of the digital, and that's the one he's going to use. That's the most important thing when you're doing portraits of people. No matter what anyone else thinks, as long as the client loves it and it's fit for their purpose, that is the main thing. So yeah, Cole liked the digital one. Didn't go for the black and white film ones, but hey-ho, film will win another day, won't it? Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time.
It's a photo shoot when I'm dressed like a tramp.
Right.